I have a very disturbing report here to share with you out of St. Louis, Missouri. Before I report on this, I want to let you know that I am indeed working on the TPP net neutrality video that I'm about ready to share with you. Very interesting details there. Out of St. Louis, Missouri, right now, potential nuclear fallout is imminent as radioactive waste sets to burn in Missouri, right? So, what's the deal with this radioactive waste and the fire that's been burning out of control for 5 years? St. Louis, Missouri, in the Bridgeton landfill, is now 1,000 feet away of a nuclear waste dump that has been in existence since around World War II, and has all of this waste been dumped there from the Manhattan Project and from other government projects. How is it that a landfill could be on fire for 5 years and they have not been able to get it under control? I would think that you would bring in water tankers from all surrounding states to protect the citizens of St. Louis from what is about ready to hit them right now. They have been making plans in the city of St. Louis, which I think that their projections are underestimated. When you have this fire getting ready to hit this waste dump and you're only making preparations to evacuate citizens of St. Louis, what about when it gets into the atmosphere and some of these fallouts land in different cities, different states? Who's going to be at fault for that? Well, let's take a look at the Environmental Protection Agency. Since they've been in control of this waste dump since 1990, again, I want to reestablish the fact that this waste dump has been there since around World War II. Well, of course, World War II, that's when they started working on the Manhattan Project, right? So basically, the city has been making evacuation plans this last year. But wouldn't you know it, that they didn't even tell the public anything until this past week. Of course, some of the public has been aware of the ongoing situation. But I have to ask that why hasn't the EPA brought in forestry services and other fire departments from surrounding states? They have federal forestry and firefighters. Why not bring in all these water tankers and just completely inundate the whole landfill with water, or even bring in some of these tankers that they use this special foam for airplane fires, right? I would be foaming that whole place up, whatever I could do to extinguish that fire that's been burning for 5 years, and they haven't even done it. So you have to ask, if they're making preparations now to evacuate the citizens of St. Louis, where exactly are the citizens going to be able to go? It is going to be complete and utter chaos. You think that the plans are going to be, well, okay, this part of the city, you're going to use these exits and you're going to head east. And you over here, you're going to head north and south and west. The whole thing is that you're going to have traffic jams. When is it going to be the right time to start evacuating people? When it reaches 500 feet? 250 feet? Why hasn't there been any preparations to bring in dump trucks or bulldozers or any of that stuff and absolutely create a huge ditch to keep the fire from even approaching this nuclear waste dump? It's because they do not care, folks. The only thing they care about is, well, let's get all the people out of the city. Is that the only plans that you can think of? My God, man, this is just complete and utter stupidity. It boggles my mind. Really, it does. So in the other article here, just to, reconfirm that this is a huge, disturbing issue, is that an extinguishable underground fire and a nuclear waste dump, but they're only 1,200 feet apart in an area north of St. Louis. And it says it may be growing closer, but according to some of the other articles I've seen, is that it has indeed been moving there closer and closer. When exactly this is expected to reach this nuclear waste, that has not been disclosed, or I do not believe that they have, the data on that to share. But know that these emergency plans that they're talking about have nothing as far as plans to be able to stop the fire from reaching the waste, right? What does that mean for the public in the surrounding areas that may not be having plans to evacuate? Do you understand what I'm saying? Very, very disturbing issues coming out of St. Louis. Wanted to share that with you. I'm going to leave some links in the description box. And also, I want to state, even though there are people out there who may not agree with Russian Vid's videos that he puts out, I don't agree with everybody out there, and a lot of people don't agree with all of the content that I put out. But I am going to be there to help people, and in hopes that if something were to happen to me, that there would be people out there to help me in return. Thank you, everybody, and I will keep you guys alerted on any further details regarding this disturbing story out of St. Louis.